Deep dives and blue skies. Welcome back to Talking Blue with Nick, the best Dodgers analytical podcast that you can find. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Blue, the best Dodgers analytical podcast that you can find. That's right, we are back. Episode 40. I'm your host, Nick. Today, not that exciting of a day. We're going to recap the Dodgers Astros series. As you probably know by now, the Dodgers were swept. Did not win a game against the Astros. Super disappointing. Super just unfortunate series. We're going to get into all of it. So, as always, before we can get into the series, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you prefer to watch. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos dropping. You can follow us on all social media, TikTok, at Talkin' Blue Pod. Guys, I promise you, if you go to my TikTok right now, Talkin' Blue Pod, it's blowing up right now because Astro fans will not stop roasting me in the comments. I just checked. It has over 20,000 likes, and it has over 700 comments. It's just Astro fans roasting me, talking smack to other Dodger fans. It just won't stop. They just won't stop roasting. So if you enjoy that, go and check out the TikTok and join in on the fun. You can follow us, like I said, all social media, TikTok, X, Instagram. You can follow my personal X at Talkin' Blue Nick. A lot of stuff coming out on there. I dropped some info on Shohei Ohtani. We'll talk about that on here. And then some more stuff will be coming out. And subscribe and follow us on Reddit at competitive-week8715. All the Dodgers Talking Blue stuff is on there, so you can't miss it. It is not going to be fun. Quickly, though, I wanted to talk about some of the Astros stuff on TikTok. I've never been a huge trash talk person. I'm not really someone who cares to be right or have my opinion be right or anything like that. So it's not like me to usually comment at people on TikTok. I made my regular shortened version of my preview series of the Dodgers and the Astros that I post before each series. It's like 2 minutes long. Dodgers got destroyed on Friday night, of course. A bunch of Astro fans were coming at me in the comments. So I felt like I should have responded, as maybe why not? And a ton of Astros fans were just talking about a lot of crazy stuff. Really quickly, of course, we all know the history between the Dodgers and the Astros. The Astros were, of course, reprimanded because of rules that they broke in 2017, sign stealing, cheating scandal, all that. We all know that by now. So, me personally as a Dodger fan, I've never been crazy hung up on that. The only thing it kind of affected for me personally was like, in baseball history, every time someone wins the World Series, you can always say, hey, that team deserved it. They played better than the other team. 2017 is a little different. Did the Astros deserve it? Were they really better than the Dodgers? I don't know. Who knows? You know, when the reports came out, again, this is so long ago at this point, the Astros used the sign-stealing stuff during the regular season. There was reports they didn't do it in the postseason. So, again, the Astros had to win games on the road in the World Series. Dodgers had games at home. So, I don't know how much it affected it. It's never been a huge thing for me. But the one thing that did bother me, that I was going back and forth with Astro fans, was a lot of the Astro fans claiming like the Dodgers cheated too, or other teams were cheating. I do not subscribe to that, and that is just false. And there's just no evidence to that. Now, if you're someone who just believes, hey, in those days, 2017, 2018, everybody was cheating, so whatever, everything goes, that's fine if that's what you believe. I don't believe that. I know technically the Red Sox also got in trouble for some stuff because of the Apple Watch stuff. Some people like to throw at you, hey, Mookie Betts was on that team. Why don't you care about that? All that is fine. There is no evidence or no just reality to that the Dodgers cheated, that the Yankees, a lot of the comments like to say that. That just is all just false stuff to me that you're throwing out there to kind of justify how you feel about the Astros breaking the rules. Again, the Astros are a great organization. They're one of the first forward-thinking teams when it comes to analytics and pitching and stuff like that. and they deserve to be in all the World Series that they were in, and they deserve the one championship they got in 2022. But don't get on my TikTok and start talking about the Dodgers cheated as well and it was just covered up, because that's just false and you have nothing. Every person I commented back and said prove it, show me the evidence, they just came back with MLB covered it up. There, you can't prove that. So don't start throwing out all these conspiracy theories. The Dodgers did not cheat, so don't try to make yourself feel better. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get into this series because the Astros absolutely wiped the floor with the Dodgers. So, of course, in Game 1, 4th of July, I was pretty hyped for this series. The Dodgers and Astros have been playing very well. Probably the two best teams in baseball, other than the Detroit Tigers. Come into this game Friday night. Ben Casparis gets the call to start the game, not an opener or anything like that. We'll just quickly. Isaac Paredes homered on the first pitch of the game for the Astros. Then Christian Walker makes it 2-0 in an RBI single. Dodgers would respond in the second inning. Will Smith cut the lead in half with a home run. But then later on, Jose Altuve in the third inning, he goes deep. Christian Walker goes deep, makes it 6-1. Later on, Cooper Hummel singles, pretty much puts the game out of reach. The Astros wouldn't stop. Cam Smith single, Christian Walker another RBI. Then Victor Caratini hits a grand slam. Then this game is just completely over. Astros would tack on more. Jose Altuve with another home run. And then, of course, the final score is 18-1, the deficit that the Dodgers have had handed to them in the history of Dodger Stadium. So just absolutely embarrassed. Ben Casparis goes 3 innings, gives up 6 earned runs. Jack Dreyer, 1 2/3, 1 earned run. Noah Davis gives up 10 earned runs. Just got absolutely rocked. Anthony Bonda goes 2 innings, 1 earned run, and then Miguel Rojas pitched 1 inning. Dodgers, once again, didn't do much against Lance McCullers. 6 innings, 1 earned run for Lance McCullers. Pretty good outing. Like I said, Astros, 20 hits. Dodgers only had 6 hits. Just absolutely got destroyed. Really, the only thing to talk about is Ben Casparis. He's got an ERA now in the high 4.6s, I think like 4.68 or something like that. I still think Ben Casparis is a good pitcher, but clearly the issue has just been him going from the bullpen to being built up to be a starter. We've talked about Ben a lot. I loved him coming into the year, what he did last year, the stuff he did in spring training. I was interested to see how would the Dodgers use him. Would it be a traditional reliever? They kind of did a little bit of both. He was more of a traditional reliever, but he would go more than an inning at times. Had just absolutely dominant numbers. Really good fastball, really good breaking ball. He also has a cutter, curveball. Just limits hard hit balls and all that kind of stuff. But ever since then, he has gotten absolutely destroyed. I don't have the numbers, but I know it's like an ERA of 9 ever since he's been getting lengthened out of the pen. So maybe the Dodgers want to stay away from that. Of course, out of necessity with all the injuries, they kind of had no choice. He was pitching so well in some of the short bursts, like 2 innings, 1 2/3, stuff like that. Can't blame the Dodgers for trying, especially because Casparis has started in the minor leagues before. But they should probably put a nail in that, especially with some other guys coming up. So we'll see. I still think Ben Casparis is really good, but at the end of the day, he got absolutely rocked. Obviously, Noah Davis. I mean, the Astros are, like I said, I think what made some Astro fans mad was that I kind of said how their offense wasn't as good as you might think. I still said it was a good offense, and what makes them very good is that they put the ball in play and don't strike out, and you saw that throughout this series. Super aggressive team, doesn't necessarily have much plate discipline, but it leads to just so many. They just slap balls the other way, kind of keep the inning going with base hits. You see it with Altuve, Mauricio Dubon, Jake Myers, guys like that just don't really strike out. And then, of course, like Isaac Paredes and Christian Walker bring the thunder. Of course, Christian Walker was going to dominate in this series. I mean, he literally turns into the greatest hitter ever when he steps into Dodger Stadium. I mean, it's like he came into the series with like an 80 OPS plus, like he's been awful this year, and then he just absolutely dominates. So that was kind of expected. So, ugly game. Dodgers get destroyed, ruined the recent vibes. But game 2, I was more optimistic. Ohtani was going to be on the mound. I figured, hey, the Dodgers have been playing really well as of late. Some of the guys who have been cold have been swinging it better. Come out and win game 2. We'll see. Maybe you can get a series win on Sunday. Get out of there with a 2 out of 3, and then everybody's feeling pretty decent about themselves. Of course, that did not exactly happen as well. So, of course, Shohei Ohtani gets the start. He goes up against Framber Valdez. Good matchup. So, right away, Dodgers get on the board first in this game. Mookie Betts hits a home run in the bottom of the first. That is really good to see. Then, in the bottom of the second, the Dodgers would add on. 2-out hit by Miguel Rojas. He's been swinging a pretty good bat as of late. But this is where it all falls apart. So, Ohtani again goes 2 innings, comes out. Justin Robleski comes in for the third like we thought he would, relieve and pitch the bulk innings behind Ohtani. Lately it's been Kasparius. This time it's Robleski. Immediately the Astros were all over him. They tie the game up immediately. Zach Short hits a double into the left field corner. Then a Cam Smith single to make it 3-2 Houston, and then another Christian Walker hit, 4-2. So immediately 4 earned runs to Justin Robleski. Dodgers go down 4-2. Later on, Yainer Diaz, the catcher, goes deep to dead center, 5-2 Astros. Now the Dodgers would get back in the game. Miguel Rojas, 2-run homer off of Framber Valdez. I believe this was also with 2 outs. So Dodgers do get right back in the game. It's a 1-run game. Victor Caratini would hit a sac fly to make it 6-4. Dodgers wouldn't put up any more runs. They had a couple of mistakes in this game, 1 error and a really big Mookie Betts costly base runner. I don't want to kill Mookie too much because Mookie's one of those guys. I know he has had the worst offensive stretch of his career, so he's been talked about a lot as of late. But Mookie's one of those guys who never really does anything wrong, doesn't make any errors on defense, and he's one of the better instinctual base runners in the game. One of the worst base running decisions, probably the worst I've ever seen him make, because I don't really see him make any. I think it was the 8th inning. Dodgers were only down 1 run at the time. He's leading off the 8th inning. Maybe it was the 7th inning. He lines a hard hit ball to left field. Left fielder dives and misses it, goes to the wall. Easy stand-up double, possible triple. Mookie's not as fast as he once was, and the outfielder recovered well to get the ball in quickly. Mookie was rounding second base, deciding to go to third as the left fielder was throwing the ball in. Never a good sign. I literally audibly said in my room when I was watching it, "What are you doing?" Gets thrown out, not even close. Just immediately baseball 1-on-1. Don't make the first or third out at third base. So there's a rule you broke. You're down 1 run. You have Freddie Freeman up behind you and a lot of the meat of the order. Down 1 run. The Astros have a loaded bullpen. Just all the no-nos in the world. I don't know what you're doing. Really, it would be understandable if Dave Roberts took him out of the game. Obviously, he's not going to do that to Mookie Betts or embarrass him because he's a legendary player. And players will make mistakes. It happens. He was just being aggressive. He kind of explained actually that when he saw the outfielder throwing the ball to the cutoff man, this might be hard to explain, but usually the cutoff man who's receiving the ball in the outfield and the third baseman are lined up. So when he saw the cutoff man was catching the ball, he was kind of not lined up with the third base bag. He was more in the shortstop area, kind of like if the shortstop's in the regular shortstop spot, and he just went straight out to the outfield, he would be in between second base and third base. So he figured that the third baseman would be not covering the bag, so he kind of could have snuck in behind the throw. Obviously, that wasn't the case. He got hosed. Just a bad decision. I understand he probably got excited thinking he can get 3 when he saw the outfielder on the ground and the ball's rolling past him, but you got to the ball is in front of you. You can't get thrown out when the ball is literally in front of you. You're rounding second. You can see the outfielder throwing the ball in. It's just a bad decision. And it was a kill. Right when that happened, I immediately knew the Dodgers weren't going to win the game. So we'll talk about Ohtani, really the only thing to talk about from this series. We'll also talk about Emmett Sheehan, who, of course, pitched Sunday. But Ohtani was, again, very good. So Shohei goes 2 innings, gives up 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts. He had 6 whiffs in the game, 6 swings and misses. So I just want to talk about some of his numbers. He's continued to be super nasty. So in this game, he averaged 97.9 miles an hour, just under 98. He maxed out at 100.9, which of course gets rounded up to 101 on the TV. He threw more sliders than sweepers. So something that's interesting about Shohei, that I've started to learn seeing him pitch more and more is that he has two different breaking balls. He normally just had the big sweeper. He also now has a slider. So he legitimately throws a low 80s sweeper that's like 83, 84, and then a harder high 80s slider. And the slider so far has been absolutely dominant. So that pitch in this game got 2 whiffs, and then like I said, the four-seamer got 2 whiffs, and then the sweeper got 2 whiffs. So he's got some really elite pitches so far. The velocity's up, and so far he has on the season 6 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, only 1 walk allowed, and only 1 earned run. He's got an ERA of 1.50. He's been absolutely dominant, and I just wanted to give these numbers. So far this year, he's averaging 98.4 miles an hour on the fastball. That would rank second among all starters in baseball. And the slider that I talked about, not the sweeper, the slider that averages 87 miles an hour and is his third most often used pitch. His slider has a 55.6 whiff percentage, which would rank first among all sliders in all of baseball and would rank second among all pitches in baseball. Now, again, obviously he's only thrown 6 innings, so that's why when I say would rank, I mean if he had been pitching more to this point. So we'll see if that stuff continues. We'll see if the electric fastball continues. But I think is really interesting so far is that the Dodgers are obviously being very careful with Shohei, building him up, right? He hasn't thrown more than 2 innings in any game yet. I don't think he's thrown more than 35 pitches or anything like that in any outing. They're being very methodical in their approach. They are building Shohei up, I believe, so he is ready to throw 1 game in every postseason series. And he can go 4 to 6 innings and give some really quality innings. The Dodgers have an all-star pitcher and an all-star ace in Yamamoto. Yamamoto's been a legit top 10 pitcher in baseball this year and has been an ace. Shohei is displaying some electric stuff that might actually have him as a potential game 1 starter over Yamamoto because his stuff is absolutely electric. And if he continues this and you get to game 1 of a postseason series, it's going to be hard not to want to give Shohei the ball over Yamamoto. And that's a pretty dominant 1-2 punch. If you could go Shohei to Yamamoto and then one of Snell or Glasnow after that, we'll see if those guys come back. So the pitching staff could be in a really good spot. Now we'll see. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. I just think it's really cool that Shohei so far in the 6 innings he's thrown has displayed some of the most electric stuff in the game so far, and it's some of the most electric stuff of his career. So thought that was really cool. Really one of the only positive takeaways. Again, after Shohei pitched, like I said, Robleski goes 4 2/3, gives up 4 earned runs, did strike out 6, but he had 7 hits allowed. So some of the shine on Robleski kind of wears off. What I didn't love is that the Astros have a completely right-handed lineup, and Robleski does not fare well against right-handed hitters. He is much better against lefties, and so that was going to be a tough uphill battle to climb. And then the Dodgers bats did show up in this game. Now, they had the Mookie home run, which is great to see. Mookie had 2 hits, also had multiple hard hit balls that didn't find grass, so he's continued to hit the ball very hard. And then obviously Miguel Rojas had 2 big hits, including a homer. Paz had 2 more hits. Will Smith had 2 more hits. So the offense showed up to do enough in this game. Just couldn't kind of get that one big hit to send them over the top. And then a couple of mistakes. A couple of guys got injured in this game. That's my fault. I didn't do an injury report. I'll do that kind of at the end. So we'll go to the third game, which happened today, of course. Game 3 of this series. Emmett Sheehan gets recalled to make his second start. He goes up against Gusto of the Astros. So like I said, it was either going to be Gordon or Gusto, the right-hander Gusto. He gets the start. Emmett Sheehan gets recalled, and they did say that Emmett Sheehan looks like he will stay in the rotation. So Dodgers do get on the board first again in this game. Dalton Rushing, 2-out double to left field, puts the Dodgers up 1-0. But then right away in the top of the third, Jose Altuve hits a sac fly to tie up the game. Now, would remain 1-1 for a while, all the way to the 6th inning. Emmett Sheehan is out of the game. Will Klein comes in. He eventually has to get taken out. Bases loaded walk brings in the go-ahead run. So Astros go up 2-1. Later on, Christian Walker would homer, make it 3-1. Yainer Diaz would make it 4-1. And then, of course, cherry on top, Altuve hits another home run to make it 5-1 Astros. And the Astros win and complete the sweep. So just absolute bummer. Dodgers get swept. So Emmett Sheehan goes 5 innings. Will Klein goes 2/3 of an inning. Bessia for 1.1. Tanner Scott for 2/3. Lufa Trevino for 1/3. And then Anthony Bonda goes 1. Again, the Dodgers bats were, like in the first game, cold against Gusto. He goes 6 innings, 1 earned run. Quickly, I'll talk about Emmett Sheehan. Emmett Sheehan, like I said, he went 5 innings. Now, Sheehan went 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Did display some pretty good stuff in the game. So I'm continuing to be like pretty excited about Emmett Sheehan. He's got a really electric fastball, and he's really ever since his rookie year, and clearly something he's worked on in his rehab and stuff like that. He's really worked on his secondary pitches. So he threw 80 pitches in this game. Actually got a lot of whiffs, a good amount of whiffs in the game. He had 14 whiffs. Just clearly the Astros are a good team with 2 strikes, so that when he would get to 2 strikes, they put the ball in play. So he didn't rack up a ton of strikeouts, but he had 4 whiffs on the 4-seamer, 5 came on his slider, 4 on the changeup, 1 on his curveball. So a good mix of whiffs on that pitch, on all of 4 of his pitches. His fastball averaged 96 miles an hour in the game, so that's pretty good. And then again, I've talked about this before, he's a good, pretty big induced vertical break guy. His 4-seam fastball averaged in this game 17 inches of induced vertical break, pretty nasty, and it maxed out at 20. So, like I said, that led to 4 whiffs on his fastball. So, I think Emmett Sheehan's going to be really good, and he's going to really help out the rotation. Now, he's super young, so we'll see how, when other guys come back, where he'll kind of stay in the rotation. But so far, he's got 9 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 2. He's also been really good with not allowing walks. That was one of his issues when he was a rookie, stuff like that. So really encouraging stuff, and he's only 25 years old. So in this game, I think the Dodgers bats were a little bit better than the box score would say in this game. Dodgers had 7 hits in the game, which again is not too bad. Only had 1 walk, but 7 hits. Mookie had 2 hits. Freddie Freeman had a hit. Conforto, Kim had a hit, and then Dalton Rushing had 2 hits. They had a lot of hard hit balls. Michael Conforto lined out, super hard hit ball to center. Same thing with Mookie. I think Mookie did that a couple times. Same thing with Freddie Freeman. He got robbed of a nice play by the center fielder. Andy Paz hit a ball hard to left field. There was a lot of hard hit balls. So this game, I think if a little bit more luck is on the Dodgers side, they would have been in the game a little bit early on. Kind of one of those things, what are you going to do? The Dodgers came into this series really hot. We were feeling really good. I know that they played the White Sox and they played the Rockies in the last couple weeks, but they also played the Yankees earlier in June, played them really well. Other teams like the Guardians, the Padres and Giants, they've been playing good teams, so it's not like the Dodgers came in just playing a bunch of bad teams. They've been hitting, taking care of business. The offense has been good. Pitching had been better. What kind of failed them in this series was that they didn't have a lot of firepower in terms of the home run. Guys like Shohei didn't do much. Teoscar Hernandez has kind of continued to be a little quiet. Freddie Freeman was cold the first couple games. Did have a couple hits, but he didn't bring the hot bat that he had against the White Sox into this series. Miguel Rojas put up some of the best at-bats, which is good to see for Miguel Rojas, but if he's your best player, that's not a good sign. So what kind of failed them was the later innings. Guys like Robleski coming in, immediately giving up 4 runs. Right after Emmett Sheehan, kind of the whole bullpen imploding. Tanner Scott gave up some home runs. Kasperius just didn't have it, so kind of like a forget about it series. I don't think the Dodgers are a little banged up right now, so I'll quickly let me go over the Dodgers' injuries because I forgot to do that in the beginning. 3-headed injury monsters, I'll start to call them the 2 Blakes and the 1 Tyler. Blake Snell, Blake Treinen have both simultaneously continued to throw to hitters, and it's been really good. Snell looks like he's expected to go on a rehab assignment this upcoming week. Probably only go two innings at a time. So that him and Blake Trinan, who also threw to hitters and is expected to go on a rehab assignment, same exact time as Blake Snell. So both Blakes look like come out of the All-Star break. They'll be ready to go. Maybe not right when the All-Star break ends, the first series out, but post All-Star break, they're going to come back pretty quickly. Tyler Glasnow did make his last rehab start and will come back to the big leagues. I thought that he was going to pitch in the Milwaukee series, but I just looked at the probable pitchers, and I don't think he was on there. So that probably means he's going to pitch next Friday in San Francisco to end the first half. Obviously, Max Muncy, we already know he went on the IL with the bone bruise. We won't see him until probably August. And then the only kind of minor injuries are Teoscar and Kike and Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman took a ball off his foot. I think he has a fractured pinky toe or something like that. They said nothing they can really do. Nothing's really that wrong. It's just all about pain tolerance. So he's not going to go on the IL or anything like that. Teoscar fouled the ball off his foot and did get X-rays. Everything came back negative, which is good. That's got me a little squeamish as what they're going to do. The Dodgers always tend to play down injuries. Teoscar has been kind of bad for a while now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just put him on the IL, let him reset, let him kind of take the rest of the first half off. We'll see you in the second half. Come back ready to go, healthy, mentally ready, all that. So we'll see what they do with Teoscar for this last upcoming week of the first half. And then Kike Hernandez, they said, has some sort of elbow issue. Forgive me, I don't remember if it's his throwing arm or anything like that. So I'm not really sure what that is all about. So we'll see what happens with Tommy and with Teoscar. Tommy Edman's been fine, but Teoscar's been really struggling. Also has been bad defensively, so we'll kind of see what they do. They of course have Esteury Ruiz, who came up. He made a start on Sunday. Looks like he's a good defensive outfielder, and he's speedy but can't hit. So we'll see. Dodgers, they're kind of limping to the end of the first half a little bit, but they have continued to get more healthy. I think when the first half is done, All-Star break is done, forget where the Dodgers start their first series post All-Star break, but when we come out of there, they're going to be more healthy. I think some of these guys that are a little nicked up will be a little bit more healthy, and then we'll be very close to getting both Blakes back. Tyler Glasnow will have come back. Emmett Sheehan's going to stay in the rotation, so that right now would give you a rotation of Shohei Ohtani pitching on his kind of short rest right now, build up, Yamamoto, Emmett Sheehan, Clayton Kershaw. That's 4 right there. Then at some point you have Snell and you have Glasnow. That's a 6-man rotation that they're going to run out there until the Tyler and Blake Snell are there. You'll see more Kasperius, Robleski, guys like that. So maybe Landon Knack at some point. So super disappointing series. This was a good measuring stick series for the Dodgers, and they just straight up got outplayed every way. Made some physical mistakes, mental mistakes, just didn't hit enough with runners in scoring position, and then the bullpen kind of blew it in some parts. So the Astros are a good team, so they shouldn't feel like they got swept by a bad team, kind of like when they got swept by the Angels a few months ago. So I saw this on Twitter. Best thing you could do is just forget this happened. You came in hot to this series, got to go to Milwaukee now. Going to face some good pitching in Milwaukee. I'm going to do a preview series on that. Going to see Mizorowski. Also going to see Freddie Peralta. So they're going to face 2 good pitchers. So Monday is actually going to be a really good matchup. So got to go to Milwaukee. Just forget this series happened. Guys like Mookie who have started to swing the bat better. He's been hitting the ball hard. Got to bring that into Milwaukee. Freddie Freeman, got to have what you did against the White Sox. Show me that Freddie Freeman. And then going to need some guys like Miguel Rojas to continue to put good at-bats together. Conforto continue to put better at-bats together. Stuff like that. Hae-Sung Kim will get some opportunities. Obviously, Andy Pajes. So, need the bats to show up to Milwaukee. Runners in scoring position. And I need the bullpen to be better. I think they'll be fine. Forget this series happened. All right? Forget about the Astros. Who cares about them? Just didn't play good enough. You got outplayed in 3 games. Who cares? You've been playing hot. You've been hot coming into this weekend series. Finish out the first half strong, and then we'll go into the All-Star break, enjoy that, and then we'll look forward to a more healthy, hot second half. So that's going to wrap up episode 40 of Talking Blue. Thank you guys, 40 episodes. I can't believe it's already been 40. As you guys can tell, I'm back in my regular setup. I know it looks a little bit different. I've still been kind of moving things around. I'm looking to have some of my Dodger stuff I had in the background back, but it's a little bit of a different setup. So appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. As always, you can get this podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on TikTok. Every Houston Astros fan in the world apparently is commenting on my podcast, on my videos, so chime in if you'd like. Continue the roast of myself. And you can follow us on all social media at Talking Blue Pod, X, Instagram. Keep an eye out for some shorts coming out. You can follow myself at Talking Blue Nick and follow us on Reddit at competitive-week8715. Bunch of Talking Blue stuff on there. You can't miss it. So, thank you guys for listening to the recap. We will see you guys at the Dodgers Brewers preview series for Monday night. Thank you guys for listening.